Good day, everyone. It is currently the 12th of October 2011, about 1200 Philippine Standard Time. That's a 04 for those of you worried here. We're continuing to watch from Banyan, the tropical storm Ramon by the Gasa. Current winds out of it about 35, gusting up to 45 knots. Currently centered over Visayas here, moving towards the Sulu Sea, and then just north of Palawan here in the forecast. If we zoom in on the satellite imagery here, just showing the IR water vapor differential here, you do see it's a very broad area of convection out here. The overall low level circulation actually very disrupted right now. That's why a lot of the agencies actually don't have the same exact position on where the center of circulation here. JMA actually has a little bit farther off towards the north. JTW keeps it here. It's down towards the south. Pagasa right around the same location as well. But just noting that overall though, it's very disorganized, but they're still dumping an abundant amount of precipitation out here. Actually, 4 reports of deaths here along the eastern Philippines were recorded earlier today. Actually, 4 students going home from school due to flooding, though they all got swept away to some of these rainfalls out here. So really kind of a sad story still happening with this system, even though it is a relatively weak system. But continuing to watch this track off towards the west, if we look at the visible imagery out in here, you can see that there is still some inflow coming in from the western periphery, but that's also associated with a little bit of wind shear out there. And if we pull up the shear chart and overlay it on here, seeing about 30 to 40 knots out in this location just over Palawan, and that is one of the main reasons why this remains fairly disorganized out here across the Philippines. That and also due to some of this land interaction with the higher mountains out here. But those mountains are also causing some orographic lifting and producing rain showers out here in excess of about 200 to 300 millimeters, especially on the east coast of Samar. Saw a report out there of about 320 millimeters of rain in the past 24 hours. Meanwhile, here across much of the rest of Visayas, so you're seeing precipitation amounts adding up to over 100 millimeters. So really, just seeing those excessive rainfall amounts causing those localized flash floods, and as I already noted, it's causing some riverbeds to flow up here as well. But also here in southern Luzon, a lot of the ground up here is already saturated. So even with all of this rainfall coming in across the region here, and especially as it moves onshore up here towards the north, you're going to be seeing those saturated grounds not soak up that rain and also cause continued flash flooding. Also, I do want to mention that the Metro Manila area also could see some rainfall here, especially some localized urban flooding is very possible. But where exactly is this storm going to be going now as it moves away from the Philippines? I think that's what everybody wants to know. Well, really right now, if you look at this IR imagery in here and just take your eyes to the bottom left of the screen, you see our tropical storm down here. Well, just north of that, see all this dry area in here? That is due to a subtropical ridge centered over northern Luzon and the Luzon Strait. It's going to want to stay south of that and track off towards the west. And model guidance actually has come in a little bit more of a fair agreement on where exactly the system's going to go. Basically, following the bottom half of that subtropical ridge heading off towards Hanoi in Vietnam here in the long range. Some of them do have it taken a little bit closer to Manila, but given the forward movement of this right now, and if you just prog it out, doesn't look like it's going to take that turn off towards the north and really going to follow this model consensus, just showing GFS no gaps, and actually here in black is JTWC's forecast with the system, taking it just north of Palawan and then off towards the north. Then it's going to make a sharp turn towards the left as it encounters some wind shear up here, and it starts to really start to buffet the southern periphery of that ridge, and that should take it directly off towards the southern coast of Hanoi in Vietnam by the weekend. Still long range, plenty of time to continue to watch it, and obviously as of right now we're still watching it as it exits the Philippines. But here's a look at JTWC's forecast, noting they're keeping it as a tropical storm as it moves away from Visayas here just north of Palawan, as already noted, then moving out here just almost to the Paracel Islands here south of China before it starts to turn off towards the west. So that's still long range, and as you note here on the 16th, and then this position here is actually on the 17th as well. So basically anybody from Hanoi over to Vietnam, which you have already seen an abundant amount of flooding. 3 tropical systems in the past 3 weeks have hit this area, so a 4th one is possibly in the mix here by next week. But for now though, Manila, you're on the edge of this forecast track, and do not be surprised if you still see some strong rain showers and isolated thunderstorms out here as this passes towards the south, out just outside of the Metro Manila area here. And definitely you're going to continue to see a lot of high surf up and down the coast here, so don't be surprised as well if you go anywhere up near the bay here, or basically anywhere along the east coast of Luzon, that you see some high waves. And I would definitely recommend staying out of the water. Very high chance of rip current out here, and also very high chance of some of those destructive waves right near the coast. But zooming out from the localized picture on Tropical Storm Banyan here, you do look across the rest of the Western Pacific here, and I do want to mention this area here just southeast of Guam. This is another invest area out here. We're continuing to watch here for possible development. And also, we have another low pressure moving off of China that is going to be bringing some cloudy skies and possibly heavy rain showers here to Japan by Friday and into Saturday as that starts to track towards that direction. So we're going to continue to be watching those two systems as well. But that is all for right now, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as usual, please post them in the comment box below if you're watching this here at YouTube, or in any of the comment boxes at westernpacificweather.com. And also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We continue to post updates throughout the day on this storm as it tracks off across the Philippines. So stay safe out there, everybody, and I hope you have a great day.